In 2023, I made a guess about 7 countries that would introduce digital nomad visas in 2024. Well, it turns out another one of my predictions has come true. Now joining the ranks of Japan, Portugal, Spain, and so many other countries that have embraced digital nomad visas, the beautiful European country of Italy has now introduced their own digital nomad visa. In this video, I will go over what it takes to acquire this new digital nomad visa and for you to come and stay in Italy and enjoy everything it has to offer. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. My name is Tristan Powell. I am the Yonderpreneur. I help people learn to live geographically and financially freer lives. Back in 2023, I wrote an article about 7 countries that were likely to introduce digital nomad visas in 2024. I have been proven correct by another one of these countries, as Italy just introduced its digital nomad visa earlier this year. And it seems that Italy has done a really good job in making their digital nomad visa also, much better than Japan's digital nomad visa that was bit of a letdown. If you want to know more about the new Japanese digital nomad visa, I made a video about that I'll link below in the description. At first glances, the Italian digital nomad visa will allow non-EU nationals, so Canadians, Americans, Mexicans, Japanese, basically anyone who isn't from the EU, a 1-year permit that is renewable to live in Italy. However, you do need to be employed by a foreign corporation or you have to be a highly skilled freelancer. What is required? Because it's never just that easy. You don't get these for free. You have to have 32,000 euros of income, which is about 35,000 US dollars per year. You must have health insurance that covers you for your entire length of your stay in Italy, proof of accommodation in Italy, and you have to be considered highly skilled, which from what I can understand is you basically need to have a university degree or some sort of education that is beyond the high school. Also, you could have experience in an industry for 3 years. Apparently that will count also. So just by looking at things off the get-go here, the Italian digital nomad visa doesn't seem too hard to get. What's really funny about this is that the requirements for the Italian digital nomad visa are not as strict and less expensive than the Japanese digital nomad, and the Italian digital nomad lets you stay in Italy for the entire year, where Japan only allows you to stay there for 6 months. So what is the application procedure? Well, you have to go visit the embassy or the consulate of Italy in your home country and give them your passport and your documents. Upon being approved to go to Italy on the digital nomad visa, then you will have to go to Italy, and once you're there, you will have to get a residency card. What is amazing about the Italian digital nomad visa is that the time that you spend on it counts towards your permanent residence. So since it's a 1-year visa and it's renewable, once you hit 5 years, you can actually apply for Italian permanent residency. Now, it's a little bit up in the air whether this will lead to Italian citizenship or not, but from what I understand of Italian citizenship law is, if you spend 10 years in Italy, more than 6 months a year, consecutively for 10 years, you can apply for Italian citizenship. So, assuming this counts towards the digital nomad visa also, I don't see why not. An important thing to consider if you're going for the Italian digital nomad visa is your tax situation. So there are 2 tax systems in Italy, ordinario and forfettario. In short, ordinario is paying taxes on a progressive scale between 23% and 43%. And that breakdown goes as follows. You will pay 23% up to 28,000 euros, 35% from 28,000 to 50,000 euros, and 43% on anything that exceeds 50,000 euros a year. All in all, ordinario is not so great. It's just like many other tax systems in Europe and Canada, States, just a progressive system that gets exceedingly more expensive as you earn more income. As for forfettario, For your first 5 years in Italy as a digital nomad, you can apply for this simplified tax system. The forfettario system is basically a flat tax rate of 15%. This is more for businesses, entrepreneurs, freelancers. It is a much easier system. If you're working for a business, you're probably going to have to be on the ordinario system. But if you're able to set up your taxes correctly, the forfettario system is actually much better. And before we move on from taxes, there is a little known third tax system in Italy that most people don't actually know about. It's the Italian flat tax or lump sum taxation regime. If you have lived outside of Italy for the last 10 years, which is many people who aren't Italian. So if you have lived outside of Italy for 10 years, you can apply for this special taxation regime. Basically, what the flat tax is all your income from overseas. So if you still make money from the United States or Canada or the UK or some other country around the world that is in Italy, when you pay taxes on that, you can pay simply 100,000 euros and that's it. It doesn't matter if you made 1 million euros from your income abroad or 500,000 euros. So this can be very attractive to someone making 1 million euros because 100,000 is only 10%. Whereas if you only made 200,000, now this tax is 50%. So it depends on how much money you are making abroad, whether you should apply for this special taxation system or not. And I did the math just in case you really wanted to know whether it's worth it for you. If you make over 232,558 euros a year, then it's better to do the lump sum. Also, you might be able to dodge the Italian tax man altogether if you just don't stay in the country for 183 days a year. So if you spend less than 183 days in Italy, you may not be a tax resident there. However, if your goal is to get permanent residency or citizenship in Italy, then you have to thread the needle because 183 days makes you a tax resident. 180 days is what is required to become permanent residents in Italy. So just be careful. If you spend 3 days extra in Italy, you might be hit with a big tax consequence. Regardless, Italian taxation is kind of complicated. In your best interest to contact an Italian accountant before you make your trip to Italy. After talking about Italian taxes for the last portion of the video, I thought I would wrap the video up by talking about some nice places to go in Italy. So you can go to the cities, obviously, the beautiful city of Rome, of course. You also have the fashionable city of Milan. If you're looking for a more small town or relaxed vibe, there's the city of Tuscany and Liguria. And if you're a ski lover like myself, you can ski the Italian Dolomites and the Italian Alps. Italy's Digital Nomad Visa is an example of a Digital Nomad Visa done right. And if you found this information helpful, give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I always come up with new content, and don't hesitate to contact me at Yonderpreneur through my website, or I'm always available on x.com also if you have any questions about living abroad, living financially freer and geographically freer live. So in the comments below, tell me what your favorite place in Italy is, or if you would consider doing a digital nomad visa in Italy. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.